Community-based sociotherapy is a local NGO which has a legal status from 2017. Our core mission is to contribute to the psychosocial well-being of people who have been affected by genocide, war, forced displacement, and other people who have been in a direct or indirect way affected by genocide. And we also contribute to the sustainable reconciliation as we emphasize more on the re-establishment of social cohesion among Rwandese, because genocide has destroyed our social bonds, among which the trust has been very much destroyed. So what we do is to help people, mainly genocide survivors and genocide perpetrators and their families, to recover that social relationship, to rebuild the trust, but also strengthening the reestablishment of human dignity.
So we select social therapists from their hills. So we train them, and after training them, they go back to the community. So then they identify people who come in the group. So the groups have 15 people, and they do the journey of 15 weeks together. After doing that, so we organize the conviviality meetings, where we invite the neighbors, the family members to come, and they share with others the testimonies from the journey that they have done. We also support those graduate groups. I mean the groups of people who have gone through social therapy in different ways. So as I said, we accompany them throughout the initiatives, socio-economic initiatives that they come up with at the end of social therapy journey.
In the North, it has been, let's say, an entry point for the liberation struggle. So we would have started by there so that we can see what are consequences of war, of forced displacement, but also in that time it was during the introduction of Gacaca. We work now in 4 provinces of Rwanda, but we focus more in districts which still have the consequences of genocide, who have been much affected by genocide.
Our target in peace building is to contribute to the healing, first, of the community that was affected. We also contribute in terms of advocacy, to put people, the community, the leaders, and other categories of people aware of the legacies of genocide. We also contribute to socio-economic development of the community. I cannot forget that we also do research, and from that research we have different roundtables with the leaders, of course in line with putting them aware of what comes from the community. We also write, we do some publications of articles. So we find it very crucial that the community, the entire community, the entire world gets really aware of what is happening, what happened, and also the preventive measures that can be taken to avoid that genocide happens again, either in Rwanda or in other parts of the world.
It's even difficult to explain how the young people who didn't experience genocide are now showing some symptoms of trauma. But it's such transmission of trauma because the mother, the father are very much connected to their children. So the pain of the father, what they went through, are affecting the current generation. Different issues that we are observing among young people, like drug abuse, like school dropout, like early pregnancies. So all those issues are in one way or another consequences of genocide. So we work in free settings, we work in community, We also work in camps, in refugee camps, as well as in prison. So to me, we are really in good progress. We achieved a lot in terms of reconciliation, but still we need to work more to show the reality, but also to build and sustain what we have achieved so far.
The level of trauma among survivors is also very high. So that's why that's our key target group. Not only survivors, but also the descendants of survivors. Another category is the group or the category of perpetrators or ex-perpetrators. So we also target them because looking at our history, people are being killed by their neighbors. So that also makes the genocide against Tutsi unique. So they need also to be prepared to reintegrate the parents in the family, to integrate the parent or the person in the community. Our history is very complex to the extent when you go to the community and you try to scan the community, most of people are affected, but of course at different levels. So we also target other different social categories: orphans, people with disability, people living in the family conflict. So we really target most of the social categories in the communities. Then look at a teacher who is affected and who is educating. So we also make sure that we accompany them in the healing process and also put them aware of what we observe in the youth so that they pay attention in that area. So we also target leaders.
On the side of genocide survivors, they made a big progress in terms of reconciliation, but also on the side of people who killed their family relatives. Through these programs, they are ready and they have been ready to ask for forgiveness, to share what happened. We still have issues of for people who can't tell the truth, like really informing where unburied bodies can be found. So I can say that the more we encourage them to share what happened into the past, I have a hope that all those issues will be addressed, but it's a process.
At this moment, it is not easy to have access to prisons, and we do understand the reason behind, because we are also preventing that the COVID can spread in prisons, and it may have more effect there. So because it is really a different environment. So for this project that we are running, that has been one of the main challenge that we encountered. So there are other effects looking at, for instance, our culture. The culture also, we find it somehow as a challenge because sometimes they also encourage people not to share what they are feeling. But also, the community is not also yet aware of the mental issues. It's important that in our daily work, we give or we provide a safe space for our people. We listen to them first. So sometimes our listening ear is not really good. It's important that we create that space and we listen to our people, and all the measures that we take or the decisions, even all the policies should really be trauma informed. We need to put all our efforts together and also share all the information to make sure that what we do today, each and every organization is informed about what the other is doing. So that will help to reach a wider community and also achieve more in the peace building process.
I wish that the young generation, the next generation, would live in peace. We as parents, we don't want them to experience what we experienced, like a genocide. Young people are very much committed. We have different stories of change where the young people are even transforming the mindset of their parents. Those young people are taking responsibility and saying, no, that's not true. I have known the truth. Stop this. So I'm happy to say that young people, after being empowered, they are really committed to build the Rwanda we want, the sustainable peace in Rwanda.